Hello, everyone. So we are going to talk about a topic that is quite popular in the Black community, right? I came across two really interesting pieces of content online recently, and I had to make this video because it has been on my mind, right? Like, it's amazing that a certain community, a certain demographic can be brainwashed into thinking a certain way. And then when you come across a piece of content like this, it's like lights go off and you're like, wow, man, like this is a very succinct and powerful question or comment being raised. And the first piece of content that I came across was this one, right? This is a tweet. Candace Sinclair says, people having so much smoke for single mothers is a true testament to how people hate women so much because there is absolutely no reason to chastise the parent that stayed, right? I mean, this is such a powerful tweet, such a powerful statement. And it's sad that it's powerful. It's sad that it's powerful because a lot of us think otherwise, right? Like a lot of people will blame a single mother. A lot of people were like, "Wow, what did she do to make the person leave? Or she shouldn't have had that man's kids, or she should have, she should have chose a better man. She should have picked a better man." And it's like, no, 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 no. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Hey, Thunder Scorpion. Um, Will Smith says, I don't date single mother. Okay, good for you. Whatever. A lot of men say that, but a lot of them will date a single mother. But anyway, it's just amazing to me how much people will put blame on the parent that stayed. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. And I mean, I feel like no other culture, and if you really think about it, only in Black culture, only in Black American culture are single mothers chastised for being single mothers. Every other culture, every single other culture, people, society look at the man like, what's wrong with the man? Why didn't the man be a man and stay and take care of his children? But somehow, some way, all the blame gets placed on Black women in the Black community. So I'm not really sure why that's the case. Okay, so then we have someone here that says, this person can't even read or write. If she got her children in check, not disrespectful. If that man got his children in check and didn't abandon his children, why don't you say that? Why don't you say if a man didn't abandon his children? Why are you blaming the parent that stayed? Why aren't you blaming the man that left? Anyway, anywho, now this is the first piece of content that I came across that addressed this phenomenon, right, in Black culture where the single mothers are blamed. Now, I'm going to switch over to another piece of content for you guys to take a look at. And it's just amazing, right? I know a lot of people don't like Cynthia G, but I have to show this. And please let me know when I start playing this video, please let me know if you can hear it, okay? All right, I'm going to play it.
I believe that, I understand your mission, bringing, highlighting the dusty Black men in America, and did a great job. But I just think that you cherry picking the bottom Black men to represent the totality.
Okay, so what is the totality?
The service is,
What is not?
Actually, hold on one second, y'all. Somebody is commenting. So here we go. Here's this guy again. Some women want control, and when they can't, they go to the pigs, cry wolf. My child's mom tried to kill him while in her belly. Sir, why didn't you marry that woman before you got her pregnant? I wouldn't want to have a child if I'm unmarried either. Why didn't you marry that woman before you got her pregnant? That's the question. Okay, next. Thunder Scorpion says, I think men catch the heat too. You will hear, well, at least I've heard men criticized for not raising their kids. Yes, Thunder Scorpion, they do catch heat, but from the outside, not from the inside. Like, if you look at a lot of scholarly articles about Black America, a lot of scholars and researchers will cite the statistic that 70% of Black men abandon their children, because over 70% of Black children grow up without a father. And they will cite that statistic to say, well, this is why so many Black children grow up in poverty. This is why so many Black children don't pursue higher education, and so on and so forth. This is why so many Black children don't have stability. They will cite that, but it's usually coming from the outside. But from the inside, you have all these Black men blaming the women. I mean, right here, like, there's a Black man in this comment section right now blaming Black women when he was the one that got that woman pregnant. Why didn't that man, the man in this comment section right now blaming Black women, why didn't he use a condom? Why didn't he marry that woman? Why is he blaming the woman when it was his PP that he used to make that child? But anyway, and probably pressured that woman, because you know it's usually men who pressure women for sex. We all know this. Okay. Will Smith says, what about the ones that keep their children away from their dad? Black men is a part of the blame, but so are the women. It depends on how you see it. If the woman is staying and raising the child alone, she shouldn't be the one to be blamed. I'm sorry. And if a woman is successfully able to, I mean, like, look, a real man, you cannot keep a real man away from his child. If that man really wants to make an impact, a positive impact on that child's life, you cannot keep that man away from his child. So you can't even blame women for that. And if a woman is trying to keep a child away from the man, that man probably isn't worth being a father or father material. But anyway, so yes, you can't keep a real man away from his child. You can't. You cannot keep a real man away from his child. Anyway, I'm going to continue with the video. So before I start the video again, I'm just going to let you know that in the video, a Black man blames Black women, the single parent that stayed, and doesn't blame the parent that left, which is usually the Black male, because 70% of Black children grow up without a father. Okay, now let's take a listen.
What are the totality doing? Hold on. What are the totality doing? Productivity.
Okay. All right. So is it safe for me to quote any statistics from the Census Bureau, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, or 50% of Black men make more money than 50% of Black women, correct? Just total income.
Okay, so you say that to say what? All men make more money when they're working than all women. That just means they get a higher working wage than women do. But Black women, but Black women are more employed, and they're the bigger, and there's more Black female entrepreneurs than anything that you can't get from someone else. In fact, there is nothing
be considered by your definition dusty because they were raised by a single mother.
Okay, and that's why. Okay, so
because of the type of cosmetic, type of father.
Okay, here we go, y'all. So this is the part now. This is the part where he starts to blame single mothers for Black men not exceeding or not succeeding in life. He blames the parent that stayed instead of the parents that abandoned their children.
They sell. However, the end of the day is my argument is you cherry pick the bottom 70, 80% that represent the group. We all know that majority of Black men will be considered by your definition dusty because they were raised by a single mother.
Okay, and that's why. Well, okay, so hold on. When a child is raised by a single mother, who does that reflect poorly on? The mother who's there raising them, or the father who abandoned them?
The mother who raised them.
How? So the mother is wrong because she's raising them, and the father is not because he failed to?
That's not how it works.
That is how it. Hold on. That is how it works, dude. You don't get to create your world. Dude, hold on. See, what is up with these? Like, y'all are too emotional. Like, I'm not gonna keep dealing what you're talking over, running off at the mouth. If you don't know how to have a conversation, don't call in. Are you telling me that the problem in the community is the mothers who are raising them, not the fathers who are not? Is that what you're saying?
Could you repeat that question?
Are you trying to tell me that women raising their children is creating a bigger issue than the men who are not raising their children? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I said. I said the response. Okay, that's not what I said. I said the responsibility, right? The person who carries that is the black woman.
How?
That's false.
So it's not a man's responsibility to raise his child that he created?
No, listen, you're not answering my question. My question was, the person who's raising the child has the responsibility, correct?
No.
Is that correct?
No. A man, hold on.
Okay, y'all. Let me know if you were able to hear everything. Let me know. But here we go. We have a situation where men are abandoning their children, and yet the woman is blamed for the men walking out on their children. The woman is blamed for everything. The woman is blamed because those children aren't raised properly. How are you going to blame a woman that is doing it all by herself? Like, how are you doing that? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. How are you going to blame the parent that stayed? Now, I'm going to go back to this tweet that I came across, and we're going to take a look at it. It says, people having so much smoke for single mothers is a true testament to how people hate women so much because there is absolutely no reason to chastise the parent that stayed. If you're going to blame anyone, if you're going to blame a child growing up without a father, you're not supposed to blame the mother. You're supposed to blame the father that walked out on that child's life. And here we go. Another person blaming black women. Here we go. He says, and this system made y'all feel you don't need a man. So does that mean the black men that walked out on their children shouldn't be blamed? Does that mean the black men that walked out on their children shouldn't take care of their children because somehow black women feel like they don't need a man? Like, do you see the idiocy? Everyone, do you see this idiocy? But anyway, I think this is something to think about. It's ridiculous. I'm glad people are making content now discussing the craziness of it all, discussing the insanity of blaming the parent that sat down and took on two roles. You have mothers that are here taking on two roles all by themselves. And you're going to blame her instead of the man that walked out and threw away his children, walked away from his own flesh and blood, walked away from his own DNA. 70% of black men do this, who have children do this. And you're going to blame the women? You're going to blame the women saying, oh, it's the women's fault because they feel like they don't need a man. Do you see this? We have someone in the chats right now insinuating that it's the woman's fault because women feel like they don't need a man. Well, guess what? I'll tell you this right now. If a man is garbage, no, I don't need him because I can do bad all by myself. Like, if I'm going to live in poverty, I can live in poverty by myself. I don't need help to live in poverty. I don't need help to do bad. I don't need help to be, poor. I don't need help to not succeed. I can do that all by myself. Listen, I tell you this. I need a man. If I'm ever going to need a man, I will need a man that has his stuff together and who is doing better than me. So Will Smith says, if I have kids, I'm going to get custody. My father wasn't in my life because he went to jail over a lie. He got out when I turned 21 because of evidence. I don't know issues with blaming single moms. Well, you have people, Will Smith, you have people right here. And they're saying that it's the woman's fault that Black men walk out on their children. I'll say this one more time. You cannot keep a real man away from his children. Okay? You can't. So, with that said, I think this is some critical information we all should think about. And before we place blame on single mothers, understand that somebody had to walk away for that child to have one parent. Okay? So, I hope you all have a lovely night and take this into consideration. And stop blaming the parent that stayed. She should get all the respect because she took on the role as a mother and a father, while a father just walked away from his child. 70% of Black fathers do this. Over 70% of Black fathers walk away from their children. They don't do what's needed to stay in their children's lives. 70% of these men do this, but it's the woman's fault. 70% of these men walk away from their children, but somehow it's the woman's fault. Please make it make sense. How does that make any sense? How does this make sense? Please, someone tell me. If a man walks out on his child, if a man is able to turn his back on his own flesh and blood, how is that the woman's fault? Thunder Scorpion says, I see a lot of discussion going on around this topic. It's sad that we are in this situation 70%. But yeah, it's super sad. And I think the men should start taking responsibility for their actions. Okay? All right, with that. And you know what? And Black women, stop giving access to your bodies to these men. Stop it. Unless that man heavily invest in you and make sure you have something, put away just in case you do get pregnant. Stop giving access to your body. Stop giving access to your time. Stop having sex with these men. Stop it. I mean, like, y'all have all the power. Just cut them off. If you need to date out, date out. But stop. If you need to do what you need to do, if you need to be single, it's better to be single than to get pregnant by a worthless man. It is better to be single than to get pregnant by a worthless man. Love yourself enough, like Black women, love yourself enough, have the right self-esteem to not give access to your bodies to worthless men. This is your life that you're playing with. Your life. Okay? All right. So have a lovely night, everyone, and I will see you guys later.